What's up, everybody? Welcome back. And you already know what time it is. You can tell from the title of this video, but I gotta run this intro anyway. We're back for some more Radical Red hardcore mode, and today we're gonna take on the Johto gym leader, the infamous Whitney. And she does not have her signature Miltank for this fight, but trust me, she has way stronger Pokemon, and Whitney is probably the strongest out of all of the Johto gym leaders so far. So here we go, Whitney. Let's see what she's got for us. She leads with the Pyroar. Okay, pretty strong lead, but we've got something better for her. We send out the Hisuian Arcanine. We get off the Intimidate, but it doesn't matter. We really just need this for the type matchup here because Pyroar is always going to switch out. And here she's always going to switch into Weirdeer. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but this is another Hisuian Pokemon. Predicting the switch, we attack with Crunch, and it's super effective, but this thing is an absolute tank. Despite being super effective, look how little damage that did. Now, Weirdeer is a normal Psychic type, so we want to switch Arcanine out in the Crocodile. And we get off another Intimidate. That's right, we're running 2 Intimidate users, but Weirdeer is a special attacker. He goes for the Psychic, but Crocodile is unaffected, essentially giving us a free switch. We go for Crunch again, but Crocodile's Crunch is a little bit more powerful, and we deal a bit of damage, but not enough to take him out. Weirdeer goes for the Calm Mind. Seeing that he can't take out Crocodile in one shot, he tries to power up. But that Calm Mind is going to prove useless as we are faster. All we have to do is click Crunch one more time, and Weirdeer goes down. And you know, I gotta slip this in here. If you're enjoying the video, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. I know you guys always skip this part. I can tell from the video analytics, but it really does help out a lot. Alright, so Altaria comes out next, and this is her Mega. And when Altaria Mega evolves, it gains the Fairy typing. So we want to switch into someone that's a better type matchup for that. So we switch out Crocodile for Metagross. Shiny, of course, and I paid a ton of money for this thing at the game corner. But here we go. Whitney's not playing around. She Mega evolves her Ace into Mega Altaria. We're going to take an attack here. It goes for the Pixelate Hyper Voice, meaning that it is a Fairy type move, but we still type resist. Now, Altaria knows Flamethrower, but because it sees that Metagross would survive an attack, it opts to power up with Calm Mind instead. At least that's how I think the AI works in this game. We go for the huge, super effective Meteor Mash, and this is a roll to kill. Unfortunately, we don't get it and just fall shy of the one-shot. Now, here I really messed up because I was not running Bullet Punch on Metagross. I don't know if it was because the way I was evolving it so fast, I missed out on it, or I forgot that it even learned it yet. And I'm going to go back later and make sure that I reteach it Bullet Punch, but for now, we've got to do the best we can and adapt to the situation. We definitely don't want Metagross to take a Flamethrower, so we switch him out for Arcanine. We get the Intimidate off, but yet again, Altaria is a special attacker, and man, Whitney has a whole lot of special attackers. We predict right and 4 times resist the Flamethrower. All we have to do now is click the priority Accelerock, and Altaria goes down. And I know I'm making it look easy, but trust me, this battle took a whole lot of trial and error and a bunch of time planning and team building in order to find the right combination. And this battle is far from over, very far from over, as Ursaring comes out next, and this thing is an absolute monster. So first thing we want to do to deal with this is switch into Crocodile. We get off the Intimidate. We also want to avoid Arcanine from getting hit from the Earthquake, which we predict incoming, and we predict right. Ursaring attacks with the Earthquake, and Crocodile should be able to tank it fairly well, especially after the Intimidate now. Being 4 times super effective against Arcanine, we definitely didn't want him to get hit by that. But now we're going to predict a Body Slam, because thanks to Stab, it's going to deal more damage than Earthquake. So predicting an incoming Body Slam, we switch to Arcanine again to get off one more Intimidate and tank the incoming Body Slam. Arcanine's Intimidate is going to drop Ursaring's attack to -2 now. But we make a bad read, and Ursaring goes for the Earthquake again. It's going to be 4 times super effective against Arcanine, and even after 2 Intimidates, it deals huge damage, but Arcanine is able to just barely hang on. And that was a really risky play. I don't know exactly why Ursaring still went for Earthquake there. After so many attempts, I thought I had a good grasp of how the AI works for this battle, but apparently not. Now, we want to keep Arcanine alive here, so we're going to switch into Mind Shao to deal with this Ursaring. And of course, now he goes for the Body Slam. Mind Shao is pretty frail, but thanks to the 2 Intimidates we got on him, we're able to tank the attack fairly well. And as soon as I thought we had him cornered, Ursaring is going to switch out, of course, into Togekiss. Togekiss is going to take the Fake Out, and it's not going to deal much damage at all. Togekiss is really bulky and is going to restore some health from the leftovers as well. Now, we've got to get Mind Shao out of there. We need to save him for later in order to deal with that Ursaring. This is a horrible type matchup, so we switch to Metagross. And Shiny Metagross is so cool, man. Definitely one of my favorite shinies. Togekiss attacks with Air Slash, and it's definitely a good thing we made that switch because Mind Shao would not have been able to survive it, but Metagross tanks it pretty well. Now it's time to deal some damage. We go for the Meteor Mash, but Whitney switches once again. And we've just got a ton of switching going on in this battle as Ursaring rejoins the battlefield and takes the Meteor Mash in place of Togekiss. It deals a little less than half, and we get the attack boost, but this is pretty unfortunate because we can't stay in here. We have to switch Metagross out due to Ursaring knowing Earthquake. We cannot allow Metagross to get hit by that. In battles like this where there's a whole lot of switching going going on really make you realize how game-changing that entry hazards like stealth rocks can really be. But we don't have any stealth rocks for this battle. Instead, we're going to switch Metagross out for Crocodile. Of course, Ursaring goes for the Earthquake. We knew it was coming. Hopefully it doesn't deal too much damage after getting off the Intimidate. And I'm getting sick and tired of all this switching. It's time for Crocodile to finish this thing off once and for all, mano y mano. We fire off the Earthquake. It deals big damage, but not enough to take him out. But here lies the problem. Ursaring knows Slack Off. It restores just about half of its HP, and this thing is so bulky, it's going to be tough to out-damage that Slack Off. But we're going to keep trying. We fire off a second Earthquake, seeing if we can deal more damage than the Slack Off heals, but apparently we cannot. Ursaring just heals right back up from the Slack Off, and it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Now, we could stay in and fish for Crunch defense drops, but I think the better option here is to switch Milotic. Apparently, Crocodile cannot finish this off mano y mano after all. We get hit with the Body Slam, but Milotic is pretty bulky, and we're going to be even more bulky now after the Flame Orb activates our Marvel Scale ability. Now, I don't think Milotic can out-damage the Ursaring Slack Off, so the idea was to go for Scorching Sands and fish for a burn, but it's not going to matter anyway as he switches into Togekiss, who is immune to ground moves. But since Whitney wants to keep playing the switching game, we can too. We're going to switch Milotic out for Metagross. Now we know we're going to have to take an attack here. Togekiss goes for the Air Slash, but of course Metagross tanks it like it's nothing. Now the problem with this is Togekiss is faster and has Serene Grace. Even though Air Slash doesn't deal that much damage, we have the chance to flinch. Now I went for Hammer Arm here, predicting a switch back to Ursaring, but it turns out that Togekiss knows Mystical Fire, and Metagross is going to go down, and that's super unfortunate. Now this is our first knockout of the battle, but hopefully this will allow us to gain some momentum back and get a clean switch into Grimmsnarl. Now this is pretty risky. Togekiss definitely knows some Fairy type moves, which Grimmsnarl is weak to, but we want to get off this Thunder Wave. We have the Prankster ability, and Togekiss is paralyzed. And what do you know? Togekiss gets fully paralyzed on the first turn, and Grimmsnarl is safe for now. Now we need to switch into someone that can deal some heavy damage on this thing. Crocodile is really risky, also being a Dark type and being weak to its Fairy type moves, but we're just gonna have to risk it. We're running out of options here as we send in Crocodile to get the job done. We're gonna have to just take an attack here and hope for the best, but Togekiss goes for the Thunder Wave, and Crocodile is immune. Definitely didn't see that coming, but we take those all day, baby. Now we're able to get an attack off. We go for the Rock Slide. It's super effective and deals just about half. Togekiss attacks with Air Slash, and maybe this thing doesn't know a Fairy type move. Either way, Crocodile tanks the Air Slash, just barely surviving on a 2 HP. We go for Rock Slide again, and it's not going to be enough to take him out, but it's all we can do. Togekiss barely hangs on, but gets fully paralyzed, and we are safe for one more turn. All we have to do is attack one more time. We are faster, and Togekiss does not have any priority type moves, and I was thinking about it for a sec, which is why I hesitated, but Rock Slide does in fact have 100% accuracy in this game. Togekiss goes down to the 3rd Rock Slide, and let's go. That's 3 down, 3 to go, but this battle is still far from over as Ursaring comes back out to play. Now the problem with this Ursaring is we only have one Pokemon that can out-damage its Slack Off, and that's Mine Shao. However, we cannot afford to let him get hit by any attacks. Therefore, we need to sacrifice Crocodile in order to get a clean switch in. And Mine Shao is not very bulky. It's going to be tough if we have to take some damage. However, it does have the Regenerator ability, so luckily, when we switched out earlier, we were able to restore some health. And Ursaring is not intimidated this time, meaning he's going to hit hard. However, he goes for the Sucker Punch, which we type resist, fire off the huge super effective Jump Kick, and Ursaring goes down. And I think the reason he didn't go for Body Slam there is because the AI recognizes that Mine Shao is faster, therefore he goes for the priority move. Now Love Disc comes out next, and I know what you're thinking, but this thing is actually insane in this game. It got some huge buffs, and it's going to cause us a lot of problems if we don't handle it right. Now at this point, we've got 4 Pokemon left versus Whitney's 2. We need to save Mine Shao for later, but everyone has an important role to play here. First thing we need to do is get Grimmsnarl onto the field safely. So in order to do that, we need a sacrifice, and Milotic goes down to the Surf. And as you can see, Love Disc has Soul Heart in this game, meaning that its special attack gets boosted every time it gets a KO. And again, this can snowball out of control real quick if we don't handle it properly, but we're going to stick to the plan and bring out Grimmsnarl. And Grimmsnarl's one and only job here is to get this thing paralyzed, so we fire off the Prankster Thunder Wave and get the para. Unfortunately, Love Disc hits through paralysis, and this thing is a Water Fairy type in this game, so he gets off the Stab Moonblast, and Grimmsnarl is going to go down in one shot. And he's going to get the Soul Heart boost again, but this is fine. Grimmsnarl's main job was to just get it paralyzed, so now we're going to be able able to outspeed it. And it's time for the next piece of the puzzle as we bring out Arcanine to get the job done. Even if we are super low on health here, all it takes is one attack and we'll be able to take this thing out for good. Now we need to hit a head smash here. It's a low accuracy move, but Arcanine is holding the wide lens and it connects. We know from previous attempts that head smash one-shots Luvdisc every time, and that's GG for Luvdisc. One more Pokemon to go. Arcanine goes down to the recoil from the head smash, and it's down to the 1v1. We bring out Mineshaow to finish the job. Mineshaow is back up to full health thanks to Regenerator, and Whitney sends out her final Pokemon, Pyroar. And this is exactly what we planned for. However, we do have to dodge a crit and land a high jump kick. But first things first, we have to fake out, and this is very important because we need to break Pyroar's focus sash. Now Pyroar is faster. We have to take an attack here. He goes for the Hyper Voice, and we cannot get crit here. Mineshaow barely hangs on. We retaliate with the high jump kick, and it connects. We're holding the wide lens for increased accuracy, and Pyroar goes down. And man, we barely made it out of that one. But after a long fought battle, that's GG Whitney.